So the publisher reached out and they said, hey, Valerie, how fast can you bust out another one of these Writer's Bane books? Which is a good problem to have, right? Specifically, Valerie, the one about the plots and things that you discussed at one point. So yeah, I am going to have to bump that to the top of my list a little bit, and do another Writer's Bane, which this one's probably going to be closer to this at the rate it's going, of basically writing a novel 101. Now, granted, this Writer's Bane that I am writing for novel writing is not meant to be a replacement for grammar and composition books. If you have grammar and composition issues, I highly recommend seeking out textbooks, and I'll be putting recommendations inside my book for those as well. That's why I use an editor who is a doctorate in English literature, right? Because that's not my forte. But you need help figuring out your plot, how to plan your series, what story beats do you have to have, and what is the difference between tropes and genres. I'm going to go through the basics, much like I did in this formatting book design book, right? That you're going to be able to have this fun tome that isn't designed necessarily for you to read from page 1 on. It is designed specifically for you to be able to find the section, right, of what you're looking for, and then much like this book and the research book, have something a little bit fun with graphics and just really have a good time about this, right? And make something that's visually pleasing. When I write these, I want them to be tools for you guys. They're not necessarily, you have to do it the way that I recommend. Though in typesetting, there's a couple of things you have to do the way that I recommend. But in the long run, I want this to be where you figure out how to start a novel, the anatomy of a book, the anatomy of your manuscript, formatting that manuscript. I even have a discussion plan for the type of writers. What type of writer are you? And then, the technology side of writing. I have developing a writing style as a section, world building, characters, plotting, story beats, and genre, because they go hand in hand, believe it or not. Foreshadowing, the dialogue dilemma, picking a story. Sometimes that can be very hard. Your first draft, if you're a pantser, if you're a plotter, if you're a plantser like I am, you're sort of a little bit of column A and B. Using storyboarding, using formula writing, revisions and editing. And like I said, this is not a replacement for grammar and composition, but these are easy tricks and tips that have helped me on my own journey and advice I've gathered for over 10 years. This is all my blog posts are going to be here in essence and brought up to date. And then, I want to talk about how to find an editor and what you should be doing preparing your manuscript for an editor. I also have a section for if you're co-authoring, some tips and tricks to make that more successful. I'm even trying to develop a troubleshooting storytelling. So if you guys have questions and stuff, or feelings about your own writing that you combat all the time, let me know, because I want to pack that into this book. Now, granted, the goal is for me to finish this book, writing a novel 101, for the Writer's Bane series, by the end of April. So I'm hoping to get all the 2 projects I'm actively working on turned in and revised by the end of May to the editor's desk. So it's going to be a lot of fun and a lot of work. But you guys know that in the past I've been able to totally hit the ground running, and that's my goal for this year. So those are the that's the nonfiction one. And of course, in previous video, I talk about the fiction book that I'm working on. So I'll keep you guys posted, share snippets, bring up topics of what I'm covering and questions that I might have for you guys, so I can make sure this book hits all those points and then some. But it's going to be a lot of fun. So see you guys on the flip side.